Yes, you read that right. There are calls to bring back the one, the only Rian Johnson to direct the new Rey movie coming out from Disney. You all remember Rian Johnson, right? Remember he directed The Last Jedi, the most divisive Star Wars film? Could it be the most divisive film in film history? Possibly, I think it might be. There's a CBR article that just came out calling for Rian Johnson to come back. Why you would want a writer like that, I'm not sure. That already did this much damage to Star Wars. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But Ryan Scarnado seems to be a fan of his. Let's get into this article by Ryan Scarnado because the points he brings up are kind of interesting, but we're just going to knock them right back down to hell where they came from. So here it is. Star Wars' newest problem has a controversial solution 7 years in the making. Gonna skip the first part because it's always just a bunch of garbage to fill space. Miss Marvel's Charmine Obaid Chinoy, as we call her on this channel, it's just Chinoy. We shortened her name. Chinoy will direct Daisy Ridley's return to Star Wars. While the director and its star are set, the script is still changing, pushing the film further and further off. The film initially had Justin Britt Gibson and Damon Lindelof on board to write the project before Peaky Blinders' Stephen Knight took over. Stephen Knight's a talented guy. I really like that show, Peaky Blinders. A project going through different writers is nothing new in film development, but now that Knight has become the latest to exit the film, Lucasfilm will need a new writer to take it to the finish line. Lucasfilm still seems committed to releasing the Rey film at some point. For the film to see the light of day, it may need to bring back a certain director who helmed The Last Jedi. Here's his first point. The Last Jedi was a successful film, regardless of what you think. The Last Jedi was the second film in the sequel trilogy, and it's where the fandom truly divided in the new Disney era. Do you not think that there's a problem with that? Let's bring back the guy that made the movie that truly divided the fandom. Many were critical of how the film handled its characters and for its unexpected direction. Unexpected direction is saying the least. Lucasfilm hired Johnson as the writer and director after his work on Looper and before The Force Awakens came out. The choice of Johnson as the director was a surprising one. While The Last Jedi certainly has its critics, the film undoubtedly has its defenders and earned favorable reviews. The Last Jedi is a sentimental installment of the Star Wars franchise. It is sentimental. It makes me cry every time it does. It makes me cry. Oh, I hate seeing my heroes killed off like that, man. Sentimental installment in the Star Wars franchise that will only age better as time progresses. Okay, we'll see about that. On top of that, The Last Jedi also managed to cross 1.3 billion worldwide as the highest grossing film of 2017. The overall reception of The Last Jedi and its box office performance is significant and a key reason Lucasfilm should look to bring Johnson back to the franchise. Okay, so his first point is basically The Last Jedi made $1.3 billion, highest grossing film of 2017. Why was it the highest grossing film of 2017? Well, let's see. We had Star Wars, The Force Awakens came out before that. Fans had already been waiting years for Star Wars movies to come out, new Star Wars movies. Disney buys Star Wars. They make The Force Awakens. Okay. Force Awakens was okay. We were all like, all right, cool. Yeah, that was a fun ride. We got to see Han Solo. They killed Han Solo. Whatever. All right. But at the end of The Force Awakens, who did we see? Luke Skywalker back on the screen. I was so excited to see Luke Skywalker back on the screen, man. And we only got like 3 seconds of him. We saw him up there. We were all wondering, what's he gonna do in the next movie? I'm so excited to see what Luke Skywalker does. We get to The Last Jedi. We're promised Luke Skywalker because he was the cliffhanger at the end of The Force Awakens, right? So everybody's gonna go see The Last Jedi. Everybody. We got some new Star Wars fans from The Force Awakens. We got old Star Wars fans waiting to see Luke again. That fact alone is what brought in most of the money, is just the fact that we all wanted to see Luke Skywalker, and it ended with her handing the lightsaber to him. I mean, that's super exciting. Come on. That's why it was the highest grossing film of 2017. It wasn't from Rian Johnson's masterful writing. It was because of that. That's all. First point, knocked down. Okay, second point. The Last Jedi director has experience writing Rey. Johnson is a dual threat as a writer and director in this film. He is a threat. That part is true, which remained the case with The Last Jedi. With the 7th installment in the Star Wars saga, Johnson started the film in a new place right after The Force Awakens, with Rey reaching Luke Skywalker on Ahch-To. Rey's story arc shares similarities with Luke's in The Empire Strikes Back with her training to become a Jedi but ultimately leaving prematurely. Was she training on the island or was Luke just messing with her and smacking her with a blade of grass? I think she did some training, but a lot of it seems self-guided. Johnson also explores more of Rey's story with the film, revealing that she is a nobody, while The Rise of Skywalker ultimately goes in a different direction by revealing her part of Emperor Palpatine's lineage, which is a good thing. Thank you, J.J. Abrams, for at least doing something interesting with the character. Johnson has followed up on and improved J.J. Abrams' work before. What? What? Johnson has followed up on and improved J.J. Abrams' work before and can easily do it again with the Rey film. What are you talking? What? Wait, he improved? How did he improve The Force Awakens? The Force Awakens was generally liked by everybody. I didn't like seeing Han Solo die like that, like an idiot, but the rest of the film was fine. It was a fine Star Wars movie. In my humble opinion, J.J. Abrams had to fix a lot of the things that Rian Johnson did in The Last Jedi. And I think other Star Wars fans share that opinion. Johnson also developed the relationship between Rey and Ben Solo in The Last Jedi, which became the strongest anchor of the sequel films and would play a vital role in The Rise of Skywalker. A new Star Wars film focused on Rey could use a writer like Johnson, who has already written the character well. Okay, well that's your opinion. My opinion was he screwed up the character of Rey. I don't remember the reason why they didn't have Abrams on all three. Say you hire somebody to fix your roof. They come, start the job, and they say, you know what? I'm going to need my friend to come for part of the day and fix the roof, and then I'll be back. Okay, this guy leaves, and the second guy comes, and he puts a big giant hole in your roof, water leaking everywhere, your wife's pissed off, your kids are crying, and then the first guy comes back and patches it up as best he can. Still water, everyone's still angry, but he tried, and then you just say, you know what, you're all fired. That's kind of like what Rian Johnson did with Star Wars, and this person wants the second guy that tried to fix the roof to come back. Just because he's worked on the roof before, you wouldn't hire him again. You wouldn't hire him to do a new job. And his third point is the Rey Star Wars film needs to be bold. I think it does need to be bold. I think it needs to be bold in the opposite direction, though. I think they need to pull a 180, go back and try and fix what you broke in the first place. And I think that's the only way to bring some of the old fans back. Maybe they'll appreciate that. Under Disney, Lucasfilm has played it safe with films like The Force Awakens and has pushed the boundaries of Star Wars with a series like Andor. Nah, not really. Andor was pretty safe. I think they're pushing the boundaries with Skeleton Crew, honestly. Lucasfilm has the chance to do it again with the Rey film because it will continue with a character who doesn't have as much of a legacy to live up to compared to Luke Skywalker. Well, he didn't care about that before. The film will also take place after The Rise of Skywalker with endless storytelling possibilities. Johnson has already proven himself a filmmaker willing to take risks with a major franchise like Star Wars. Yeah, he was definitely willing to take risks with that. And succeed where so many have failed. Who failed? Who failed before him? Who failed a Star Wars movie? Nobody. Johnson played with and honored the tropes of Star Wars to deliver a fresh take. And with so much content coming from the franchise lately, it needs an experienced hand to push things further once again. Lucasfilm has become notorious for becoming a Russian roulette of filmmakers, yet Johnson is one of the few who could stick around on a Star Wars film from start to finish. It's clear he is someone who has a strong relationship with Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy, making a return to Star Wars more probable than ever with the schedule freeing up. Looking at Kennedy's time at Lucasfilm, she often turns to filmmakers she can trust when projects become troubled. This movie is too good. I need to go to someone I trust to mess it up, man. Tony Gilroy came in to help with Rogue One, Ron Howard would redirect Solo, and Abrams returned to direct The Rise of Skywalker. Now Lucasfilm will bring Star Wars back to theaters with a film follow-up to the hit series The Mandalorian, which shows Lucasfilm's desire to make safer choices to achieve the most success recently. So, in your opinion, is safer choices like stuff that the fans like and you know the fans are gonna like, is that safe to you? Like, what do you want to do with Star Wars? You don't have to subvert expectations in every single Star Wars movie, dude. You don't have to do it. Please. In fact, don't. Just give us what we want. While Johnson's potential return to Star Wars would certainly cause plenty of outrage online, that's what this guy wants. That's what they really want, us to be pissed off. The more important thing is what happens behind the scenes. The Rey film has been in development for years, and it seems Lucasfilm still needs to crack the story. Few directors have as much trust at Lucasfilm as Johnson. I don't know if that's true, because I haven't heard anything official about him ever doing a Star Wars movie again. Who knows if he even wants to do another Star Wars movie? I mean, he already came in and did his thing, you know. I don't think he even wants to return. Thank God. Who is the ideal person to bring in and save the planned Rey film? Me. Let me go in there and save it. I'll save it. I'll make it real good. We need a real writer and a real director. Get rid of Chinoy. Again, like I keep saying, I still stick to my original premise that we do need a Rey movie. And I did a video on that a while back. We do. I think we do. We need the Rey movie to come in and fix what they broke. We need a director and a writer that's a Star Wars fan and that knows what to do with this franchise. I mean, not just continue on with the same bullcrap that they did in The Last Jedi. So yeah, keep Rian Johnson away from Star Wars. Let's just let the past die, okay? Like he said in The Last Jedi, let the past die. You're not going to do the Rey movie right if you're not going to hire somebody that's actually going to make a good story that's going to fix Luke Skywalker, then just trash it. Just move on. Keep Rian Johnson away, fire Chinoy, and let's make a damn good Rey movie here. How about it? Anyway, let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you want to see a Rey movie? Do you want to see Rian Johnson come back and subvert our expectations harder? Like, oh yeah, subvert my expectations harder, Ryan. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I will see you next time.
There goes my inn with the huts.
No one keeps Jabba's favor for long.